Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I make these adorable avocado bath bombs. In this video, I will show you how I got this classic avocado shape, and I will also show you how I added this pit to the avocado using a pipeable bath whip, I think it's called, or what do you call it? It's like, a lot of people call it bubble frosting. I combine these two elements to make the most adorable avocado bath bomb. So if you're interested in seeing how I do this, then keep watching. So to make our avocados, we will be using Fizz Fairy's 3-piece avocado hand press mold, and this is their 3D printed one. When you think about avocados, you think of a dark green rind on the outside. So for that, we're using Fizz Fairy's emerald green water soluble dye, and the inside is going to be a much lighter green, and for that we're going to be using Fizz Fairy's apple green water soluble dye. And to go along with the green theme, I thought for scent, Fizz Fairy's apple Jolly Rancher would be perfect for this bath bomb. So let's put all of these elements together. Let's go. To start, I'm gonna measure out my baking soda, and for baking soda, I only use Arm & Hammer brand because I hear so many things about other brands not working out. Stick with the Arm & Hammer brand and you should be okay. And to that, I'm just gonna add the littlest bit of water to prime my baking soda. And then after this step, it's just gonna be mostly voiceover because I'm gonna have to turn on my mixer and it's super loud. So I will be back once everything is mixed and I can turn the mixer off.
First, I'm adding cream of tartar for hardness, and then after that, I'm going to be adding SLSA for foam. And you can see how fine the particles are. It's kicking up into the air like that. Definitely wear a mask when you use it. And lastly, I'm going to add some kaolin clay, and that will add more hardness to the bomb, but also add a nice softness to the water. Next up is hemp butter, and if you're adding butter to your bath bombs, make sure you melt them thoroughly before adding them to your mix. And then we have polysorbate 80, which helps the oils and butters in my bath bomb to blend with the water so it's not an oil slick at the top of the bath water. Next, I'm adding a light oil, and my light oil for this bath bomb is going to be avocado oil because how fitting would that be for an avocado bath bomb? And this is something new that I'm trying. I'm actually adding a liquid surfactant to my liquid ingredients, and this is cocamidopropylbutane, and this will add a little bit more bubbles to my bath bomb. Next is my binder, and the binder that I like to use for bath bombs is isopropyl alcohol at 99%. And the last wet ingredient I'm going to be adding to my wet ingredient concoction is the fragrance oil. And this apple Jolly Rancher fragrance oil is so fresh and clean, but it has that candy element to it, which makes it so fun for summer. So I'm going to take all of these wet ingredients and add it right into my KitchenAid mixer along with my baking soda and dry ingredients that I had combined earlier. And the last ingredient is my citric acid, and I highly recommend adding citric acid last when you're making bath bombs. It makes a huge difference.
So now I'm going to mix up my colors into this bath bomb mix. First, I'm gonna remove most of this into this larger bowl, and this will be my lighter green color. And then I'm gonna mix my dark green color first because we are gonna do mostly a lighter green filling and a darker green outside. So it's kind of like that. I'm eyeballing it a little bit. And for this darker green color, I'm using Fizz Fairy's emerald green dye. And I'm just adding it in dry. I found with this emerald green dye, you don't really need to bloom it. It's quite pigmented on its own. So I'm going to spray that with water and get that mixing in my KitchenAid. So here is our dark green rind. We're gonna add it to this small bowl here, set it aside, and we're going to mix our lighter green color now. For that, we're using apple green dye, and that's Kale in the background. He's also learning how to make bath bombs. So if you have any questions, Kale, you can go ahead and ask me, and then you will learn along with our audience.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna get that going. And here's how the light green turned out. And I think that's a pretty accurate avocado color. What do you think, Kale?
I think so too.
I'm just going to mix this a little bit more thoroughly. And here we have our two avocado colors. So to fill this mold, we're going to line it with our emerald green color. And that's gonna go first. We're gonna fill it in and then press it to the outside so that it is our rind. And once we do that, we're going to fill the middle with our light green. And because we have this pit that's in the middle, I'm going to maybe make a little bit of a hollow where that pit's going to be to make it easier to press. And to add a little bit of flair, we are going to be adding some Mermaid Kisses biodegradable glitter near the top, which is a really nice chunky blue and gold glitter. And to press, you just put it on top and press down. Now to get it out of the mold, we're going to just release it from the sleeve, and then we're going to tap it, the top and the bottom, just to get it really loose. And the first piece I'm going to remove is this top piece. And when I do that, you get a really beautiful avocado with the pit missing. And to unmold it, I'm going to be drying it with its flat face down on my tray. We're just going to flip it over on our tray like that. And we are going to tap it. And there you go. And I'm just gonna move it into position right over here. And we're gonna do the next one. So I made the green rind with a little bit too much water. So the top part, the light green, it comes off pretty easily, but this dark green is a little stickier. It needs a little bit more tapping. And I think a good tip is to just keep it low on the tray and just keep tapping it. And if it doesn't release from the mold, then don't lift it away completely. And then once it's released, you can just slide it into place and pull it up. Something different that I'm excited about for these bath bombs is that I'm using a little bit of cocamidopropylbutane as surfactant, and I've reduced my level of SLSA just a touch. And the reason why I did that is I wanted to see how that would affect fizzing. I'm kind of playing around with my ratios to see what ingredient affects the bath bomb to what extent. And I've done some experiments with creating a non-SLSA bath bomb, and those worked out really well by using cocamidopropylbutane. So I'm experimenting with adding it to my main recipe. I still have SLSA in this recipe, but just playing around with different things. Because I found that when it comes to making bath bombs, as long as you keep your wet ratios similar, wet and dry ratios similar from bath bomb to bath bomb, then it seems to work out okay. My thoughts on this mold right now is that it's really easy to use. A lot of molds are tricky because there's details in it or certain kinks and weird parts, but this is pretty straightforward in terms of how molds go. So if you're currently struggling with molds, you want to make a bath bomb that's not your typical round bath bomb, but you're intimidated by all these shapes, I think this is a good start. You get the benefits of creating a bath bomb that looks a little bit more unique, but it's super easy to do. And as you can see, I have a little bit of a wetter mix for my rind and a drier mix for my green, my lighter green filling, and it's pressing pretty easily. The blue chunk in there looks really cool.
Yeah.
It's a good touch.
It's
a nice touch.
The glitter is a good color.
Yep.
Good accent.
Now for unmolding. The amount of tapping that I'm doing to get these avocados out is not the mold, it's my sticky green rind that is not letting go of the mold easily. I'm still able to release it and tap it like heck because this is a pretty sturdy bath bomb that comes out of it. All right, so we have this much rind left. I think we're doing good. I might use less,
Two
yeah.
more?
We'll see. Might use a little bit less rind.
Okay.
And go more filling because we have way more filling left. And that's something that you want to be doing too as you're filling your bath bombs, is eyeballing the amounts and making sure you don't run out of one color. In terms of avocados, I don't know if I'm an avocado fan.
To eat as a taste?
To eat, yeah. I know I'm a millennial. It should be something that I love and enjoy, but you know what? I like guacamole, but only because it's paired with so many other things like pico de gallo or cilantro or in a taco, but guac on its own, it's kind of like mayonnaise, right? It's like, it's just creamy. Just cream.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised because you'll mow on some guacamole, but...
Oh yeah. Yeah, because there's a chip.
Yeah.
That's the vessel.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I'm enjoying more, is the chip vessel.
But I can eat them just raw. I'll slice them up, get that pit out of there. Sometimes put a little salt on them maybe, but even just by themselves.
We haven't bought avocados in so long. Kayla and I are trying to eat healthier, so
yeah,
maybe we'll start doing that. Kayla and I have been watching our weight more and more as we age. It's just something you do, right?
My mom tells me the stories of growing up in Central California, so all the avocado grows and walnut grows and everything. Makes me jealous.
Yeah. So normally I like putting embeds in, but I think I'm just gonna keep it, well obviously I'm not thinking I've already decided, but I didn't do it for these avocados because I think that the green and the dark green look pretty good already, and I don't know, sometimes you don't really need a secret color. It's not always necessary.
Yeah, we're keeping these all green.
Keeping these, this is going to be a very green bath bomb.
2 different shades of green and a green smelling fragrance.
Yeah, apple green. Apple Jolly Rancher. Do you like Jolly Ranchers? Are you a fan of?
Yeah, I'm a fan of Jolly Ranchers. Brings me back to childhood. The best were the grape ones. I love anything artificial grape.
You do. You're
The green apple ones were okay, but I think the smell is better than the taste.
Yeah, it's a really good smell. I love artificial apple smell. Weirdly soothing. That and pear are very soothing scents. So for these hand press molds, I like having a separate pressing tray because it just gets really messy sometimes. It also helps to collect the excess bath bomb dust that you can use to continue in pressing into your bath bomb.
Glitter pattern on that one's like a face almost.
Is it?
Yeah, like eyes in the mouth.
Does that look like a face to you guys? Let us know in the comments.
A mean face.
I mean, okay. Wow. So Kayla and I have been in Calgary for about 4 months now. 4 months. And when we lived in Midland, Ontario, we participated in as many festivals as we could get accepted into. It's just smart when you're starting out to do stuff like that because it's a great way to get your product moving and also a great way to spread your company name out there. But since we've been here in Calgary, we've been so busy setting up our studio and getting things settled that hasn't really been a priority. Also, we don't really know what festivals are around here, but we went to this really cool festival last weekend called the Lilac Festival here in Calgary. And if you guys live in Calgary, let me know if you guys were there. I did meet one person that recognized Kale and I. The company was called Le Pen, or Bunny, but she had a really great setup. If you're watching, hi! But it was really cool to see all the soap vendors that were there, and there were a lot. This festival had over 100,000 people attend, and that is insane. Insane. So if you're thinking about signing up to an event and you see that there are other soap makers there, don't let that dissuade you because literally every soap person we visited, and there were a lot, we stopped at quite a few of them, there's always another customer there who said, thank God you're here, I'm glad that you guys decided to come out. Everyone has their customers and there is plenty of customers for everybody.
Yep, it was bonkers by the time the middle of the afternoon rolled around.
Yeah.
It was shoulder to shoulder on the street.
It was crazy.
Great to see, yeah.
It was a really cool event, and this is all to say that this is something that Kayla and I will definitely be interested in doing next year. So I think this year is going to be the year where we do our research, see what events are here and attend them as just people that are going, and then maybe next year we'll go into.
Jerica and I have made the comments before, sometimes when you're working an event, you don't even get to see everything that it has to offer. So it's good now seeing that as spectators and as visitors and being able to take in all the sights, sounds, and taste.
Woo. This is so fun. I love this mold. And I made a pretty small batch. This is about 1,000 grams of bath bomb mix. I'm on avocado number 11? That's pretty good. I think I'm going to be able to get 12 out of this batch, which is great because sometimes you don't want to be making, giant batches of bath bombs. When you're just starting out, I think it's best to just stick with a small amount. So at the end of the day, selling out is not a bad thing. I always see people very concerned about how much inventory they should make for their launch, and for me, I tell them, make as many as you can, but don't have to make tons of product, especially when you're just starting out.
Yeah, we may have told this story before, but our first year at the Butter Tart Festival in Midland, we made a whole bunch of butter tart scented soap.
Yeah.
We looked around halfway through the day. We were having a good sales day. When we looked around, we had sold no bars of butter tart soap.
Yeah, we eventually started to give them away because it was just like, nope, no one wants them. Okay, let's get rid of these guys.
We knew we were going to be stuck with the product.
Yeah.
I think what we do, if they bought our 3-pack or something, we gave them an extra bar of butter tart soap. So
yeah.
4 for the price of 3.
So my last avocado, last of my green rind. I definitely added way too much water in this guy, but he was fine. Calgary weather, I've decided, is so amazing for bath bomb making. This is around the time of year in Ontario I'd be losing my mind because weather gets hot and it's just a nightmare to make bath bombs. And people start making bath bombs around this time of year and they're so discouraged. And I'm just like, you know what? It's not you, it's the weather. Most times it's the weather. But here in Calgary, I just feel like bath bomb making is so nice. The dryness in this climate is amazing for bath bomb making. One thing I actually noticed about the Lilac Festival was that there weren't very many bath bomb people, interestingly. There was one, Delve Soap, I think is her name, but she's starting out. She's actually a friend of mine and she makes really great bath bombs if you want to check her out. I bought one of her lilac soap bars and it was fantastic. So here's the last one. Let's see. This is so anticlimactic because this is so simple to make.
I like the pattern of that one. The glitter shards are spread out well.
The glitter shards?
Glitter shards, not glass shards.
This is why it's fun to make things with your husband present, because sometimes they put things into a weird perspective you never think about. Man, this mold was so easy to use. I can't believe that.
It looked easy. Sometimes I look over at you and you're pushing down with all your might and everything. This looked like it was ergonomically friendly.
I think you could do this, Kale. I'm not saying that Kale. It's hard for Kale to learn, but it's hard for most people to learn. Like even me, if I'm given a new mold, even with all of my experience as a bath bomb maker, I still struggle sometimes. But this one, super easy. I think any beginner can pick this up and start making avocados. Look at this. Look how cute this is. I am not going to be adding the pit today because they obviously need to dry. And the reason why you want to dry them flat like this is because if you were to dry them on their backs, because there's a discrepancy in their heights, you might get crackings. You want to have a good foundation when you're drying your bath bombs. They kind of look like little turtles, don't they?
Yeah.
Something that I've been doing more and more is making bath bombs and looking at them and thinking, what else can I make with them that's not their intended purpose? And so it's kind of like alligators, turtles, what else? Light bulbs. This shape is universal. These could be pears even. These kind of look like pears.
Snowmen.
Snowmen, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I see snowmen, but these are going to dry overnight. We're going to come back tomorrow or maybe later on today when they're dry and then do the filling for you guys. But so far, how cute do these look? We got 12 avocados and next time you see us, we will be piping their little pits into their tummies.
Woohoo!
So here we are the next day and the avocados are pretty hardened. They have their avocado hole ready to be filled. And the way I'm gonna do that is by making a bath whip that I will pipe into these guys. And I haven't seen that done before, so I'm really experimenting here. But I'm gonna go ahead and make that. And then when I come back, I will pipe them into these avocado pit holes.
So here is my whipped avocado pit filling, and it's really dark, so I might have added a little bit too much hybrid dye, and that's what I used, was a brown hybrid dye for this filling, and it's a little dark, but I think it still looks like a good color for an avocado pit. So I'm just cleaning this off, and you can see the consistency is like frosting, and that's really what you're looking for when you're wanting to pipe some bubble frosting onto your bath bombs. So I'm just gonna give it a little bit of an extra stir, and I'm going to fill my piping bag with this. Now for the piping bag, I'm gonna be using this size of a piping bag, and this is one of the reusable cloth ones from Fizz Fairy, and this is a really good quality piping bag. And the tip, I'm using their large crown tip. I'm not sure what the official names are, but I'm gonna be putting this into some press and seal, sliding it into my piping bag, and I will be piping my pits into my avocados. So I have my press and seal right over here. I'm just gonna spoon my avocado pit bubble frosting into the middle and spread it out. So if you ever need a black bubble frosting, brown hybrid, it's probably a safe bet because this is pretty dark. So I'm just going to fold this over. And the miraculous thing about press and seal is that it seals everything in. We're gonna fold on the other side as well. We're gonna twist off the one side so that it sticks to itself. And we're gonna leave the other side open. And I'm actually going to trim off the edge of this here. I'm just going to cut off the edge so that my stuff is right here near the end. I'm gonna take my piping bag and I'm going to feed it through. And when putting it in, you have to be a little fast. Like this, and then we are ready to pipe. And there you go. Now I'm gonna do this other one down here. And I'm just gonna go across and fill up these avocados. We were thinking of using a round tip to fill these up, but I was too worried that they would look like poops. So this crown or star tip, I think, is the perfect size or shape. And I'm being discreet right now because I don't know if I've made enough filling for all of the avocados, but it looks like I made the perfect amount. I can actually go back and fill a few even more if I wanted to. There's something so satisfying about piping anything. And piping bubble frosting is especially satisfying. It really comes out super easily. And something that I've been meaning to try out is cupcakes, bath bomb cupcakes. And I was gifted a cupcake years ago before I knew about bath bombs, and I didn't know it was a bath bomb. So I had it in my shower thinking it was a soap, and it disintegrated on me. And I thought, wow, this soap is really not great, but it wasn't even a soap, it was a bath bomb. And that was a long time ago. So what do you think, Kale? Is this a good, do these look like avocados?
Yeah, I really like the texture of the pit. Obviously, a pit in an avocado is
more round.
Is round or egg-shaped, but I like the texture of these. I think it's a little bit more eye-pleasing than what a perfectly round little dollop would be if you were piping it out with a circle tip.
Yeah, agreed. And there's your little adorable avocado.
So here's a close-up of the avocados all in a row. You get a closer look at those avocado pits. Look really dark, but I was heavy-handed with the hybrid. And the way you would use these bath bombs is you would take out the frosting part and you would crumble that under some water, and then that would be a bit of a bubble bath, and then you would just set this guy, the bath bomb part, in the water, and that will give you your beautiful bath art colors. And the smell of Jolly Rancher green apple is so perfect for these. I know that apples and avocados don't smell alike, but because you see that green, you instantly think apples, and then you smell apples, and it just all falls into place.
So that is how I make avocado bath bombs, and the end result, I think, is super adorable. When I teased this avocado bath bomb on my TikTok, I already got inquiries as to whether or not these were available for people to buy, which is amazing. So they're definitely eye-catching. My thoughts on that mold is that it was one of the easiest molds I have used in terms of a 3D hand press mold. From packing it in to unmolding it, it was super easy. I don't know how much easier that can get. So I highly recommend it if you want to jump into the world of making bath bombs that aren't your traditional circle or square shape, and you want to make something kind of cute. This avocado mold definitely fits the bill. The colors I used, the piping bag I used, all of that is from Fizz Fairy, and I have the links in my description box below, so check them out. They have so many amazing supplies for any bath or body product you may want. So go ahead and check them out. And this bath bomb recipe is a recipe that I've never published before, so if you want that recipe and steps, including a printable PDF, is on my Patreon, so that is linked. Check it out. Also on there will be the recipe for this bubble frosting that I used to make the avocado pit. And speaking of my patrons, I just want to give you guys a huge thank you for supporting me and this channel. I am so grateful to each and every one of you, especially my bubble BFFs, these guys right here. Your messages and your questions are so helpful and so welcome. Thank you so much for your generosity, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. So that is it. If you like this kind of video, please give it a huge thumbs up, and if you want to see more, then please subscribe. And until the next video, keep smiling, keep being awesome, keep making beautiful, unique things like avocado bath bombs, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.